Flashing lights warning. So you know, like Ruina? In the year 2024, I think it's a pretty figured out game by now. And we can all agree that the game is actually fairly easy, if you know what you're doing. So let's make it really hard. So Ruina has mods, and this is one of them. In short, enemies will always max roll, and I will always min roll. How difficult could this possibly be? Well, what you're seeing in the background is the first real fight of the game, Ewan's Office Fixer 1. And let's just say this took me 4 days to beat once. There's a lot of things going on, so let me start at the very beginning. Right, their combat pages. So they have 3 combat pages that they can use. They have Evade, Light Attack, and Light Defense. Now I need you to remember, there's no rolls. It's always going to be the same numbers clashing against the same numbers. In this point in the game, Light Defense is not clashable. There is no page that I can play that will win against Light Defense. That wouldn't be too much of a problem if I weren't solo Roland with only 1 speed die, which means that I'm going to be forced into a clash with Light Defense if I want to deal damage. So, since I can only clash, the only pages where I can deal damage is going to be Evade and Light Attack. The only 2 pages that can deal damage on Light Attack are Skittering, Light Defense, and Focus Strikes. Light Defense is the best here because it has a block die to negate damage and a slash die, which they're weak to. Except that the weakness multiplier rounds down, so I will still be dealing 1 damage. The best combat page to use against Evade is Rat's Guide to Survival. It starts with a block die which ties with the Evade die, and then rolls a slash die and inflicts even some bleed. An important thing to mention about Evade is that they'll only use Evade at emotion level 0. I have all this recording footage and I've never seen them use Evade anywhere when they're above emotion level 0. This causes a problem. You see, even though they are weak to slash, Light Defense will always deal 1 stagger damage, meaning I'll have to hit 5 light defenses in order to get someone staggered. Rat's Guide to Survival deals 4 stagger damage, meaning I'll only have to follow up with 1 light defense afterwards to get a stagger. Basically, I'm getting more value out of Rat's Guide to Survival than Light Defense. The problem is, I can only use Rat's Guide to Survival on Evade. So to maximize damage and efficiency, what I want to happen is the following. I want to roll a very low speed die, and I want one person with an equally low speed die to use Evade, and somebody with higher speed to use Light Defense. Light Defense will go first and only attack once because the block and Evade die doesn't have anything to clash against. They'll get 1 emotion coin for max rolling, and they won't get a level up for next turn. I get to punish the Evade guy with Rat's Guide to Survival, which I hopefully draw in the first turn. And then what happens next is that the other guy will use Evade, and I'll just have another Rat's Guide to Survival in my hand. There are also 3 battle symbols that you can get at that point of the game. There's Determined Challenger, which has a 2% chance to boost any stagger damage dealt by +1. This is good because it allows Rat's Guide to Survival to instantly stagger. It's nice, but it's not the win condition. The win condition is definitely the Evade order happening. Then there's the Pied Piper, which gives you +1 HP, and Hot Blooded Brawler, which gives you +3 HP. However, they do go into the same slot, so you're just going to use Hot Blooded Brawler. It is not required, but it does help a little bit in the end game. There's actually a little bit more RNG to talk about. You can easily kill one of them with the Rat's key page, and that'll earn you their key page. In case you forgot what this key page does, it has a 50% chance of increasing slash damage by 1. And when it activates, it'll actually make light defenses slash die deal 3 damage because the multiplier. As a result, you can get a 2-turn kill if you get the activation twice. And this is good because it means you have 1 less turn to get hit by a light attack. And that is basically all I have to say about this fight. And here is my winning attempt. If you're wondering why I didn't start with the rats, is because they just roll a maximum of 2, which Focus Strike rolls a minimum of 3, so yeah, that's a solved mystery. Finn is equally not that important, but his page drops are, because Struggle is a really good page. Anyway, Bloodbath. So the only way I can deal damage to Bloodbath is when he uses Depression and I get to use Struggle. I would love to use Focus Strike, but unfortunately he just kind of is completely impervious to Slash, so Struggle is still my best guess. I can use Preparation on Pale Hands to not trigger the full stagger, or Rat's Gag to Survival to not take the full stagger. If he gets to 3 light immediately, I'll just reset the fight, because if he gets to 3 light, he has a chance to just stun lock me in Gay Baby Jail with Depression and Pale Hands. That said, after a bit of finesse, this fight isn't that hard. Also, Mangchi's key page is used here because he is the only one that is normal to Blunt, and Bloodbath only uses Blunt dice. So now that the floor of General Works has 2 librarians, this allows me to get easy one-sided attacks up, which is awesome, because it means I don't have to clash with unclashable dice most of the time. And so I just get to meme on Yun's office, so let's go. I go after Yun first because commandeering is just pretty scary. Plus the protection he gives to Eri is annoying, so perish. And so the Brotherhood of Iron quickly falls. Even Consta, the Destroyer of Universes, with his YOLO rolling 12. Also, Paralysis doesn't really do anything in this run, because lowering my maximum roll is basically completely irrelevant, and even if my maximum roll drops below my minimum roll, I can never roll lower than my minimum roll. The only thing that it actively does is lower my speed and cucks me out of my emotion coins. So, you know, that's okay. Scorched Girl is pretty straightforward. We're just gonna use a bunch of defensive die to tie with the really high rolling evade dice. Plus we're gonna have to stagger the Scorched Girl itself a couple of times just because my damage output is not great. Surely that won't be an issue that's gonna bite me in the ass later down the road. So check this out, the page that they played deals 5 damage to themselves, but it's not actually lethal. I don't know if you knew that, but I didn't, so I was really hoping that would kill that. Our last fight in Con Art is Hook Office. The first couple of guys are pretty pushovers, but the 3 bosses are kind of annoying. They have some really high rolling dice on them, and I do not really want to engage for that long. So I lose this floor, but thankfully I'm allowed to pick Roland's floor next. So I just do some quick cleanup. And that is all of Canard done. I'm gonna continue on with this challenge and see just how far I can get. Something tells me that the next few chapters are going to be a pain in the ass. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you the next time. Bye!